Okay, so that's the fuel valve just in there. That's the top of it. That's like the handle of the fuel valve. The fuel valve sits in here, and this is the float bowl. I did adjust this so that this ridge along here was level, but it was originally down a bit, and you may be able to see that when I raise the fuel bowl, nothing really happens with the inlet valve. That's the inlet valve through there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just lift up this pin a little bit, so that the float bowl is just a little bit further down at the front there. Okay, so that's how I've got it there. Okay, so while I've got the carburetor here, I'll give it another clean out. This will be about the second big clean out and about the fifth inspection of the carburetor. This time I've got some throttle and body carby cleaner, so we'll see how it goes. To remove the float bowl, there's an arrow there, and you just drive this pin out that way. When you drive the pin out, don't smash this. This is plastic. That's the fuel inlet. So I've got that plastic hanging off the edge of the brick here. It's not contacting the brick, so I'll drive it out now. Okay, so there's the pin there. So yeah, I just used a cotter pin to drive the pin out. So that's a diaphragm. You don't want to tear that. Okay, I'll take out the main jet. I've got an 8mm screwdriver there. Okay, I'll remove the secondary jet. Okay, in the previous video we disassembled all this, the rest of the carburetor. So if you'd like to see the start of the carburetor disassembly, just look for the previous video. Okay, we're up to the secondary jet. It's a secondary jet. Now the air-fuel mixture screw. These are brass, so just be careful you don't damage them. It's got a thin point on the end. So I'm confident that there's no blocked jets or any type of blockages in this carburetor. I'm just doing this work just to be on the safe side, just while I've got it out of the bike. So now what I'm going to do is just use this carburetor cleaner. I'll coat it and then I'll let it soak in, and I'll give it a second clean later. So what I'm going to do now is go and grab some eye protection, because this stuff no doubt would sting a lot. There you go, and that flew straight in direction of my eyes, so that was a pretty good move. So you just find any of the jets that you can find. I know what that screw is. That spring is. That's from the air fuel mixture, idle air fuel mixture. Ideally, you need an air compressor to blow out all the jets. I don't have an air compressor, so I'm just going to blow it out with this this cleaning solution. Just let it soak. Just try and find every jet area that you can find. This is the choke body. It's fairly dirty. It hasn't been cleaned out yet. This does a good job, but I wouldn't get it on your skin. Seems very powerful. So this hole here, that goes through to the other side here. This seems to go to the secondary jet, to there. The main jet seems to go to that hole inside the throttle body there, just there. That's the VOES. Inlet airflow sensor connection. That hole there, that just goes straight into the throttle body. So that there goes to the choke, that small one there. That's the choke in there. This is the choke cable. It's very carbon fouled, very dirty. This stuff does work. Now this did fall out, and I'm pretty sure that it goes down there in that hole down there, so I've just got to relocate that. Yeah, that's where it goes. It fits over that there properly. Okay, so just be careful of this. This did fall out onto the ground. I just happened to notice it underneath where I was cleaning. This is the needle jet holder. It's got it can be installed incorrectly. The larger side, or the wider side, that side, I'll try and position it down. So the larger side slips into here, into the larger hole, larger of the two. So with the longer and thicker side down, like that, and then the main jet screws down on top of that. Don't tighten it up too much, it's only brass. Okay, so now for the secondary jet. It's only a small jet. Just drop it in there, give it make sure it seats lightly. Now for the air fuel mixture screw. Okay, so I'll put the spring on, and it's located on the outside of the carburetor. Okay, so we'll screw him in until he very lightly seats, so you can just feel him bottom out, and a bit more. Okay, he's bottomed out. I'll just give him half a turn out, and that's where I'll begin my idle air fuel mixture adjustment. I'll put the fuel valve with the rubber point facing down. So that's the underneath of it, that's the top, so we'll spin him over, and that little handle there, that slips over that small metal bar there, and that valve sits in that hole there. Put the retainer in, so it's sticking out there, and I'll need to drive it through that hole there, so I'll just get these pliers and just push it in like so. So I've got that new adjustment now, so we'll see how that goes. You can see that the line's sort of down a bit at the front. Don't know whether that'll show up or not. Okay, now I'll put the choke body on. That just slips into that hole there, like so, and I'll begin to do up the thread. Just a small plastic type of screw. Put a bit of lubrication on him, and just a reminder to protect your eyes if you're going to use this chemical cleaner, carburetor cleaner. Okay, so I'll just finish screwing it off now, just until it bottoms out lightly. It's only plastic. You want to be careful with plastic, and that's it. No worries. Put the diaphragm in. It only goes in one way. For instance, it won't go in that way, so can't really lose with that one. Just get that lined up inside there. Probably not going to show up on camera, but have to thread it through that hole. That's it. Now I'm going to make sure the diaphragm is sitting inside that ridge there. Okay, I'm going to put this small rubber boot around this area here, like so. This just slips up from underneath, from the carburetor body side and out, so just like that. So now we're just going to line it all up. That slips into here, into that hole there, the top. So just try and line it all up and attach the bowl. Goes something a little bit like that. Just lightly seat the screws, don't do them up too tight. So that's it, it's ready to be put back on the bike. Always keep a manual of the bike you're working on. This paid for itself today. That bit that fell out that sits in front of the main jet. I probably would have had great difficulty finding where that went, and I was able to find it in a matter of minutes with this manual.